in today's direction of gospel contemporary music, there's so many awesome groups that do a great job with just being musical and bringing worship to a different place, such as Todd Delaney, CC Winans, Map City, Elevation, and so many others. In this video, I'm going to show you guys my approach to playing bass in that type of style. I'm going to be playing a little bit of Todd Delaney's King of Glory. Check it out. And of course, be sure to like, comment if you can, and subscribe if you haven't already. Please stay tuned for some more breakdowns and some more knowledge and theory like this. All right. All right, so that was just a quick example of my approach. Now, of course, depending on if it's live, if it's a studio, different variables would also impact how much I open up or not. And so with this record, with this song, awesome job by the bass player. Shout out to him. And just taking up those spaces, a lot of whole notes in different places. If you notice, the song's in the key of E. Okay, those of you that are new here, I tuned down the whole step. So instead of my E being the open E string right here, that's a D string for me. So my E is right here on the 2nd fret. Okay, so the song's in E major, a beautiful song, and there's not a lot going on. If you notice, with a lot of songs like this type of style, those type of artists like I named, the bass is not doing a lot. Of course, once again, like I said, if it's a live setting, sometimes they have the freedom, the liberty to definitely open up way more. But on the records, oftentimes it's not a lot of movement, a lot of whole notes. Okay, uh, right? Just want to be with you, right? The chorus, so just one to the six, five to the four, right? And so a lot of whole notes primarily, and very intentional that way, so that the drums stay in their lane, the bass stays in their lane, and all the other colors complement each other, all the aux and all the background vocals and all that. And so in these type of styles of gospel, it's important for you to really play as simple as possible, to be honest. And it's not till you get to, that bridge really after that line, right, that indicator going into the bridge. The first bridge, the bass is out. A lot of times, in some of these type of songs, depending on the artist, of course, the bridge during the first bridge, the bass is usually out. Or if the song continues to build, you stay in. But and in this case, the bass comes out, and after I believe 8 bars or so, the bass comes back in with the drums, and start building during that bridge. We will sing hallelujah, right, to the four, and then after that bridge, it repeats and the progression changes a little bit to the F sharp minor, right, and then to the six, the C sharp, and then goes to the A, right, and then it starts to build off of that five, right, that 1/5, right. That happens a lot in this type of style of gospel, contemporary music, and so really, I'm not doing much more than what the bass player is doing. Maybe towards the end of the vamp bridge, however what you call it, I might start driving a bit more, starting to play eighth notes, building with the drums, right? Pay attention to that type of stuff whenever you're listening to records, you're learning music. As a bass player, always listen to the drums. The drums are your best friend. And so oftentimes the patterns of the drums, especially if there's a lot of toms involved or driving on the kick, the bass drum involved, will also always give you a great indicator on, like, are we building on quarter notes or eighth notes, or depending on how gritty the song is, even 16th notes, you know. But that all depends, and paying attention to those details together as a band and with the drummer will make the difference, make a lot of differences in the overall dynamics of the song. So, like I said, I'm not really doing a lot when it comes to this type of song, and oftentimes that's my goal when it comes to a lot of CCM, a lot of contemporary worship, gospel music. You don't want to be in the way. Of course, there are times when the music definitely gets more aggressive, and so you start to open up. So, like coming out of that bridge, going into the chorus, I remember doing something like King. Okay, and then right here. Something like that, but that's just playing the arpeggio of the 5 chord, right? With that, which is that B in this case, in this key, right? I'm playing just D sharp, right? F sharp, B. Okay, I love to do that sometimes, just to kind of substitute that landing 5 note depending on where the chord progression is going. So I'll play it again. Just an example. So King. Okay. Just want to be with you. Something like that. Just want to be with you. It depends. And I won't always take all the space, of course. You want to always keep that in mind. Never take all the space when it comes to bass. Because bass carries a lot already. And so in this type of context, in this type of style of gospel, you don't want to do too much. But always want to be aware in terms of what spots people are taking live in worship, what have you. And you can complement that, of course. And yeah, just be yourself, of course. Learn the music first. Learn the parts that this bass player has laid down on this record. And all that will give you a great foundation to build off of. So I hope those tips and that knowledge helped you out. Share this with someone that you know needs this knowledge and needs to be reminded to just play your part. Always learn the music. Always be intentional when it comes to this type of contemporary gospel music. It may seem simple sometimes. It may seem very basic. But putting your part, doing your part, and knowing it really helps the music flow. And when you know your part, when everyone knows their part and such, then you could build from there. So make sure always take your time practicing these things, practice the basics. And like I said, it may feel basic, it may even feel boring, but there's beauty in simplicity. And so I hope you guys are blessed, and I'll see y'all in the next one.